Imagine arriving at work tomorrow morning. Your software developers cannot access their AI coding assistant. Your AI agents stop processing workflows. Customer service automation suddenly fails. Internal knowledge systems stop responding. Thousands of employees lose a critical productivity tool. Not because of a cyber attack. Not because of a power outage. Not because your infrastructure failed. But because somebody else decided you no longer have access. 5 years ago, this scenario would have sounded absurd. Today, it is a real business risk. Over the last few weeks, we have seen AI providers experience outages, service disruptions, and access restrictions. Organizations around the world are discovering something uncomfortable. They have become dependent on intelligence infrastructure they do not control. And that brings us to today's topic. Not AI, not technology, not even digital transformation. Today's topic is business survival. Because the next major business continuity challenge may not be your data center. It may not be your network. It may not even be your cloud. It may be your AI. Welcome to the Rewired C-Suite. Part 1. The dependency. Nobody is talking about. For decades, organizations worried about dependencies. Energy dependency, supplier dependency, cloud dependency, semiconductor dependency. Every experienced executive understands a simple principle. The more critical a capability becomes, the more dangerous dependency becomes. Now let's look at AI. How many organizations today depend on AI for software development, customer service, content creation, knowledge management, research, operations, process automation, decision support? The answer is simple. Almost all of them. But here is the interesting part. Most organizations don't own the intelligence they rely on. They rent it. Imagine running your finance organization on software you could lose overnight. Imagine running your ERP system on a platform that might become unavailable because of geopolitical decisions. No CIO would accept that. Yet many organizations are doing exactly that with AI. And most don't even realize it. Part 2. The Anthropic wake-up call. Recently, organizations received a powerful reminder. Access to some advanced AI capabilities became restricted due to government decisions and regulatory requirements. Whether you agree or disagree with the decision is irrelevant. The lesson is what matters. A decision made somewhere else immediately affected organizations everywhere. Let that sink in. A board member in Frankfurt, a developer in Berlin, a startup in Paris, an enterprise in Singapore, all potentially affected by decisions they neither made nor controlled. This is not a technology issue. This is a sovereignty issue. And more importantly for executives, it is a resilience issue. For years, CIOs focused on cybersecurity. Today, they must also focus on AI continuity. Because when AI becomes embedded in daily operations, losing access becomes a business interruption event, not a technical inconvenience. A business interruption. Part 3. History is repeating itself. The fascinating thing is that we have seen this movie before. Let's look at a few examples. VMware. Thousands of organizations standardized on VMware. Everything worked perfectly. Then licensing models changed. Suddenly, costs exploded. Many organizations discovered they were trapped. The technology had not failed. The dependency had. Cloud lock-in. Many organizations rushed into the cloud. The promise was speed and flexibility. And many benefits were real. But later they discovered, moving into the cloud is easy. Moving out is difficult. Dependency had quietly become lock-in. And semiconductor crisis. During the global chip shortage, entire industries stopped production. Not because demand disappeared, not because customers disappeared, because one critical dependency failed. The result? Billions in losses. AI is following the same pattern. The difference is speed. AI adoption is happening faster than cloud adoption, faster than mobile adoption, faster than almost any technology in history, which means dependency is growing faster than governance. And that should concern every executive. Part 4. The outage problem. Let's assume there are no political restrictions. Let's assume everybody has access. The risk still exists. Why? Because AI providers experience outages. Cloud providers experience outages. Platforms experience outages. Services degrade. APIs become unavailable. Now ask yourself, what happens when your AI provider is unavailable for 24 hours? What happens if your customer service depends on it? What happens if your software engineering teams depend on it? What happens if your AI agents are running operational processes? Most organizations don't know because they have never tested it. Think about that. Organizations conduct disaster recovery exercises, cybersecurity simulations, business continuity tests, but very few conduct AI continuity tests. That will change, and it will change quickly. Part 5. The new CIO agenda. Historically, CIOs asked, what technology should we adopt? The future question is different. What technology can we afford to depend on? This is a major shift in thinking. The future CIO must become a resilience architect, a business continuity leader, a strategic risk manager. Because AI is moving from optional capability to critical infrastructure. The future CIO must understand AI dependency risk, model portability, vendor concentration risk, data sovereignty, multi-provider strategies, AI continuity planning. This is no longer an innovation conversation. It is a boardroom conversation. And the organizations that understand this first will have a significant advantage. Part 6. The Rewired C-Suite framework. Here are 5 questions every executive team should ask immediately. Question 1. Which critical business processes depend on AI today? Not next year. Today. Question 2. Which AI providers are critical to our operations? Question 3. What happens if one provider becomes unavailable tomorrow? Do we know? Have we tested it? Question 4. Can we switch providers quickly, or are we locked in? Question 5. Do we have an AI business continuity plan? Not a cloud continuity plan. Not a disaster recovery plan. An AI continuity plan. Most organizations do not. Yet. Conclusion. The biggest mistake leaders can make is believing this conversation is about technology. It isn't. It is about resilience. It is about sovereignty. It is about strategic control. The future winners will not simply be organizations with the smartest AI. They will be organizations with the most resilient AI architecture. Organizations that can continue operating when providers fail, when regulations change, when access is restricted, when outages occur. The real question for every CEO, CIO, CTO, and board member is no longer, how fast can we adopt AI? The real question is, what happens if our AI disappears tomorrow? Because sooner or later, every organization will be forced to answer that question. And when that moment comes, preparation will matter far more than innovation. Thank you for watching the Rewired C-Suite. If you found this valuable, subscribe, like the video, and share it with a colleague. And let us know in the comments. Does your organization have an AI business continuity plan? Most don't. The leaders of the next decade will. See you in the next episode.